Hello everyone, it's Mike Michalkow and welcome back to another video lesson here. Today I want to talk about developing the weak hand. And as drummers, we all have one. I know that my left hand was the weak one for many, many years. And maybe for some of you guys who might be left-hand lead players, your right hand could be the weak one. So I would suggest maybe practicing a lot of these exercises open-handed, or the opposite of what I'm going to explain today. Okay, so I mean, there's a bunch of exercises we can do, but I want to get you started on something that a good friend of mine, Mr. Dom Famularo, and an old teacher, taught me many years ago. So let's try this, guys. Stretch your hands out. Okay, stretch them like that. Join your index finger to your thumbs. Stretch them out, and we're going to start doing this kind of a Spider-Man kind of a thing. Okay. If you can get the sound, great. If not, no worries. The main thing is to try to eventually stretch and develop all those muscles and tendons in our forearms that operate the fingers, and just get things loose and limber. It's just so much easier to do things around the instrument when your body is working correctly. So hopefully you guys can follow along here. If you can do this for a while, great. Maybe some of you are already stopping, but work towards being able to do this for at least, you know, a minute, 2 minutes. See what happens, you know, keep going. But I'm all loose and stretched now, so this doesn't bother me anymore. It doesn't bother me at all. It's just like I don't feel anything. And it's not because I'm numb, it's because the muscles are all stretched, right? So do that. I would say practice that as long as you can, okay? But just some real simple exercises, guys. And this is, you know, not taking anything to the extreme here. It's just I don't see enough drummers doing this. And maybe some of you guys can send me some YouTube videos on my channel showing me your progress. But, you know, take things like unison hands and eighth notes. Like, you know, even like Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin, for example. Try playing that whole song all the way through the way that John Bonham plays it, you know, and having the unison hands. But what I mean by that, for some of you guys that don't know what I'm talking about, is take an eighth note rock beat like we would normally play it like this. You know, and instead of having the left hand just do nothing except for 2 and 4, have him play every one of those eighth notes, but be sure to accent the 2 and 4. It just gives it more of a drive to the groove, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so, I mean, it's not that hard to do that. For some of you guys that don't have a very strong left hand, you're going to go, wow, that's pretty tricky. But keep in mind, it's going to develop over time the more you practice this, okay? Now, this might be very usable for some songs you're doing with your band, or maybe if you just want to add this idea every now and then, it's awesome to do because it just really adds a real element of power. Sometimes it may be overpowering, so don't always use it. But the fact that my hand is always going is the only way to really develop my hand musically, okay? So the other thing you can do is you can do this in a shuffle. I mean, you can do this in any beat you want, but in a shuffle is great, like the double shuffle kind of thing, those kind of ideas. You might notice that my left hand sort of wanders over closer to the rim as I'm playing those ghost notes, and that's just something that I've seen guys like Bernard Purdy and Jeff Porcaro do, and J.R. Robinson over the years, where they're playing their ghost notes near the rim where it's softer, and then I try to get more to the center for those accented notes. Something to practice. I wouldn't be too concerned about that right off the top as you're developing this, but as you start to get that left hand dancing, then you can start to move it around a little bit. So here would be just like a typical blues shuffle, 4 on the floor bass drum, double shuffle as some people refer to it as. you know, you might take that idea to the blues jam, and you'd be pretty amazed at some of the feedback you might get from other drummers and maybe from some of the players that you're jamming with. But that was a big one that I had to learn pretty early in my career. But the cool thing about the double shuffle is once you get it, work on speeding it up, because it gets tricky to play that fast when both hands are doing the same thing at these tempos. And so on and so on. So that would be, I would say, stage one of starting to get a left hand, you know, sort of musical left hand happening for more power and endurance, and obviously stamina. But try that, and thank you all for watching, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.